Hi everyone, it's Sarah from stampingwithlove.net. Thank you very much for joining me again. Today I thought we would look at some Christmas tags because it is the 3rd of December, believe it or not, and coming to that time of the year when that's exactly what we need. So I decided to go ahead and have a play at the weekend and absolutely love the stitched squares framelets. As you all know, I use these all the time. They come from the Stitch Shapes framelit dies. And I've basically used the 3 largest squares in the dies to create these beautiful tags here, and I've done a bit of a mix and match using the Joyous Noel suite. So we've got a Merry Merlot and copper theme going on, and here I've got the Merry Merlot glimmer paper, copper foil, and the copper and Merry Merlot reversible ribbon, and that's on all of them. And then on this one here I've used the buffalo check stamp to create the backing for the back of my tag here. And I made 6 of them, thought they were really lovely, and thought, well, let me make a box to put them all in. So this is what I came up with, and it's a Matchbox style box, and slide it open and all your tags sit nicely in there. I have put lots of dimensionals on mine, so they are stacked quite high. You obviously can make yours flatter. So I thought I'll show you how I made one of them, although the tags are really simple to put together. You probably don't need me to show you, to be honest, but I thought I would do one tag and then we can make the box and do it all in Tranquil Tide this time. So the stamps I'm going to be using today, just move this out of the way, are, as I mentioned, the buffalo check stamp. This is a background stamp that's in an autumn winter catalogue, and I've not used it until now, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it, love it, love it. And then I'm using Another Wonderful Year, which is a 2-part stamp set with just sentiments in it. I kind of wasn't sure about it because it's a pricier set, and I wasn't really sure if I was going to use everything in it. But I really loved the Merry and Bright, which is the one I'm going to be using today. But actually it's got some lovely ones in it. It's got the Best Dad Ever, which I'm going to be using for Father's Day, or for scrapbooking is a really good one. Congratulations, we are so happy for you. A really pretty font for the thank you. And actually it's a lovely set, so I went for it, and actually I love the Merry and Bright. It makes brilliant tags. And I'm not actually going to be putting anything on the back of my tags because I like to write a nice message, but if you did want to put a to and a from, I'd recommend Labels to Love, which is a brilliant sort of label stamp set, and we have a matching punch that coordinates with it, so that makes really quick and easy tags at Christmas time or any time, and that has an actual to and from stamp on it, so you can actually use that, but I'm going to be leaving mine blank today. So I thought we'd start by making the box. So I'm just bringing in my scoreboard, and I'm going to be doing the tags in Tranquil Tide today. So for my box base, I'm using a piece of Tranquil Tide cardstock that measures 4 1/8 inches by 7 inches, and for the sleeve that goes around it, it's 5 5/8 inches by 7 3/4 inches, and all the details of the measurements will be on my blog if you want to have a look at those after the project. So I'm going to start by scoring my base, and we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. And then for the sleeve, we're going to put the long side at the top, and we're going to score at 2 3/4 inches, 3 1/2 inches, 6 1/4 inches, and 7 inches. And that's all our scoring done. Next I'm going to bring in my bone folder and score and burnish, fold and burnish all my lines. I really love the whole Joyous Noel suite. I was so sad when the DSP sold out this year so early, because I wanted to get another pack of the paper. It was so beautiful. But the glimmer paper that comes in this suite is absolutely gorgeous, and I've used loads of that on my tags. Really beautiful. It comes in the Merry Merlot, Tranquil Tide and Copper. A really lovely combination. So I'm going to start by cutting up the short score lines, and I'm going to do it at either end of my label box, my tag box, sorry. And I'm just going to slightly mitre in corners. And I'm actually going to be using Tombow today to put my box together. It's absolutely fine to use Tombow on boxes, especially little ones like this. You just have to be aware that you need to hold it for a moment to let the glue set. So it just takes a little bit longer than obviously dry glue. Going to hold it together for a moment. It's really funny, I've been actually pretty organised this year for Christmas. I've gotten a lot of my presents out the way, I've made all my cards for all my friends and family, so that was really good. Really good by my standards. But the one thing I always run out of and never seem to have enough time to actually do myself are my Christmas tags. So I'm really glad that I'm sort of doing a few projects this week to show you guys, because that means I have to make my own tags. Gives me a reason to make them. Okay, so that's the box base. And then I'm actually going to use tear and tape for the sleeve. Stick my tear and tape. I'm actually going to do 2 rows of it so it's nice and secure. Go over that tear and tape with your bone folder. Peel away the backing, and if you get any bits hanging over, just push them back on themselves, and then hold it down flat and stick it down like that. So that's our sleeve done. And I'm just going to put in, using the half inch circle punch, I'm just going to add a couple of finger holes, and I'm just eyeballing this into the centre of each side of my base, like that. And that. So that just makes it a bit easier to get in and out of the box. And then that just slides in like so. So really quick and easy box to put together, and our tag should sit nicely in there afterwards, and we're going to decorate that as well. Next I'm going to make the tag itself. So I've mounted my buffalo stamp onto, you need the big block for this, for the background stamps, and that is block F. And what I tend to do when I'm using a big stamp like this is I take my ink and paper to the back of the stamp rather than the other way around. I find that you get a better imprint that way. So I'm just layering my ink like this all over the back of my stamp. I think that looks pretty good. Then I've literally just taken a sort of scrap of square Whisper White cardstock. That's going to be my tag, and I'm just going to layer it onto my stamp. And I want to try, I found that making these tags, it comes out a lot nicer when you get the bolder, the bits that are covered in the ink rather than the stripy bits. When you get those on the border of your tag, it obviously looks a lot better. So I'm going to try and line up to make sure I get that fully onto my cardstock. And then I'm just going to lay a scrap of copy paper over the top, and I'm going to just press down over my background stamp to make sure that that ink transfers well to my cardstock. And I'm just going to carefully lift that up, and there we have that piece done. And I'm going to ink it up again because we're going to be decorating our box, and I need a matte piece for the top of that. And I'm just going to do the same again. And this matte piece for the top of our tag box measures 5 1/8 inches by 2 1/4 inches. So I'm sorry if my head comes into the camera here, but I just want to make sure I get it nice and straight, because it's already been cut to the right size. So I'm just going to carefully lay that down like that. And then again, I'm going to just go over that with my copy paper and give it a nice press down all over. I am taking my time with it because it's nothing worse than when you lift up your cardstock and it's not fully transferred. I hope I've got all of that. And then just very carefully lift that up. Not too bad. Okay, so that's that bit done. And we can just leave those bits over there. Next I'm going to come in with my Big Shot. And I've got my magnetic platform on the base, my lower cutting plate, and I'm going to bring in the scrap square piece that we're using for the tag itself, and my largest stitched square framelit, and I'm just going to place that over the scrap piece. And I find this the best way to do it because that way we know that we're going to get a straight check pattern on our tag, and also you can even it up to make sure that it's still the same on both sides. So it just takes a little bit of shifting around. Yeah, that looks pretty straight to me. So I'm just going to put my top cutting plate over the top and run that through. Okay, so that's our tag base done. Next, what I've done is I've gone ahead and die cut a second piece of Whisper White cardstock in the same stitched square framelit die. A piece of the next size down in the copper foil, our copper foil sheet, and the smallest piece, the smallest square of the stitched. I'll bring them back in actually, sorry. I'll bring those back in to remind you of what we're using. Just leave them like that. So those are all the 3 sizes that we've cut. And I'm bringing in my Merry and Bright stamp and my Tranquil Tide ink again, and I'm just going to stamp my sentiment, or my Merry and Bright, sorry, onto that smallest square. Like that. And I'm also going to do a second one of those for the top of my box. Okay, just leave those over there to dry. So I'm going to just come back in with my Tombow. This should be dry hopefully by now. And I'm just going to, I am going to be quite generous with the Tombow for these tags because you wouldn't want them falling apart, obviously. They will be moving about. And I'm just taking the second stitched square piece and just backing it to it. And I do that just to make the tag nice and sturdy and also reinforce it, because obviously I'm going to have to make a hole for my ribbon to go through, and I want it to be nice and strong and not tear. So that piece done. So next I'm bringing in my, fast becoming one of my favourite punches actually, the detailed corner trio punch, and I'm actually going to make my tag hole eyeballing the centre of it. Like that. Next I'm going to attach my copper foil piece on dimensionals. You obviously don't have to use dimensionals, I just really like the way they look. They look quite luxurious, I think, when they're popped up, but you may not, there may be a reason you don't want to make them so bulky and you want them to sit flatter. Okay. And just place that down in the centre of the square. And I don't mind too much if the hole's not completely uncovered, you're still going to be able to get your ribbon through it. So that bit's done. And then just to attach my Merry and Bright piece, I'm going to use some glue dots on the four corners and the centre of my label. And stick that into the middle. And finally I'm coming in with a piece of that beautiful velvet Tranquil Tide ribbon that's in our autumn winter catalogue. And to actually make the pull for my tag, I actually got this tip from the paperpixie.com, which was a really clever way of tying ribbon to your tags to make sure that they stay flat. I thought it was an excellent tip. So I'm just pulling it through, as you can see, through the back of the tag to about there, and then bringing it round the front like that, feeding it through the back again, just grab the end there, bring it round to the front again and through that loop. It's harder, much harder to explain than it is, but hopefully by watching me do that you will have got the hang of it. And then you just pull it to the end and just give it a bit of a wiggle like that, and you get the perfect ribbon topper to your tag. So that was Julie DiMario from the paperpixie.com. Thank you, Julie, for that tip. And I'm just going to cut that off at an angle like that. Next I'm going to bring in my tag box, and I've gone ahead and made 5 of my other tags. I'm just going to lay them alternating like that, and mainly because of the dimensionals. 4, 5. Oh, I'm just missing my star. I've actually gone ahead and die cut a star using this gorgeous little tiny star tag die. I haven't got the name of the dies in front of me, believe it or not, but I will make sure that I put it in the supplies list on my blog, so head over to that after you look at this project to see which die I'm using. Sorry, I don't know the name, silly of me. but I've just stuck a mini dimensional on the back of my star, and I'm just putting it on the top there just above the R and on the copper foil, and it just finishes it off really prettily. So that's the final tag there. And then we can slip that back into its cover. Like that. And next I'm coming in with my matte piece that we stamped, and I'm just going to attach that to the top of my box using some Tombow. I just love that buffalo check, it's so pretty, it's gorgeous, very Christmassy as well. And I've gone ahead and die cut the pieces for the top of my box, so I've got the largest square die framelit for my copper foil, the next size down for my Tranquil Tide glimmer paper from the Joyous Noel suite, and obviously my last little Merry and Bright that I already stamped earlier, another one of those copper stars, and another piece of Tranquil Tide ribbon. So I'm going to start by adhering the largest copper foil piece to the middle of my box, and I'm just going straight over that mat. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to actually attach my ribbon, and I think I'm going to be using, I'm going to use some double-sided tape, tear and tape, on the back of my ribbon to make sure it stays nice and secure. And I'm just going to attach that all the way along. And then just peel away that backing. And now I'm just going to start on the top, because it's going to be covered up, and try and get it as centered as possible. I haven't got that perfectly straight, as I'm sure you can tell. I'm hoping that you won't notice when the other bits are put on top. We'll soon see in a minute. Next I'm coming in with my glimmer piece, my Tranquil Tide glimmer square. And again, I'm going to just pop that up on dimensionals. Place that over the top, and then finally my Merry and Bright I'm going to be attaching with glue dots again. I just find glue dots is the best way I find to attach anything to glimmer paper. And I'm just going to place that over the top, and then finally that tiny copper star. I've got a mini dimensional on the back, and I'm just gonna, to really go, slightly shift that over so it's in the middle of the ribbon. There you go. And that's it. Our box, fully decorated, and I love it in the Tranquil Tide. I actually love it in both. There's my Merry Merlot one, there's my Tranquil Tide one, and then 6 lovely tags inside. And I just think they're really handy for even if you're doing your own gift wrapping, so you can clearly see from the decoration on the box what's inside, and also would make a lovely gift to friends and family at this time of the year as well. So I really hope you enjoyed the project today. Hope you'll have a go at making them, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.